Hopefully we'll be getting an audience soon. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Apparently I'm live. I posted thing just there about dreams. Big belief in sorting your dreams out. I've had many dreams and many aspirations during my lifetime. I'm about this next week to see one of them through. I can't tell you what it is because it's a good one though. I keep fingers crossed because I don't like to say that things until they actually happen. So one of my dreams, one of my bucket list dreams is coming true. Fingers crossed next week. And see, I haven't got an audience yet, but it doesn't matter. I put that statement, dreams are never broken. They're always put on hold, and I do believe it's true. My prime example is I'm in 1978, I think it was 77, yeah, 1977, Genesis released Seconds Out. I wasn't really a big fan of Genesis until that album, because it's a live album. It was different. It was polished. It was more authentic, if you want, and they had many of their top selling album tracks on there, but there was one that stood out for me, and it always will stay, and it's called I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. I know it's a strange title, but it was just one of those tracks that sort of stood out for me. And one of my dreams was to see Genesis sing that, Phil Collins sing that even, live. And it took 28 years to actually fulfill that dream. I think it was about 4 years ago I went to see Genesis at Manchester, Old Trafford in Manchester. And I was hoping and praying that they'd sing that particular track, and they didn't let me down. And they went on to finish with Los Endos, Dance on a Volcano, and many other, and it was just like, wow. All the big tracks I liked off the album, finally I got to see them live, and it was a dream to see it. 28 years, and then I thought, I had to do a service at the local spiritualist church, and I had that ideal sermon, that ideal philosophy about dreams, and I told them the story about going to see Genesis, and I finished it off with dreams are never broken, they're just put on hold. And yes, it can be frustrating, yes, it can be agonising that you can't get to do what you want to do. But that's fine. There's no rush. There's no rush to get things, as long as you can, eventually live your dream, or live the dream you have. Yeah, I don't mean millions of pounds in a big mansion and all the rest of it. It's just doing that one little thing. In 94 or 95, I managed to see Pink Floyd do the last ever full concert as a band, and that was just fantastic, and it's never ever been beaten in my book, even though I've seen Case and Genesis and all the rest of it. It's never ever been beaten. And it was another dream, because when they had the Delicate Sound of Thunder tour, I was brassic, I was skint, I didn't have a penny, but I still wanted to go, I still wished to go, and it was another 10 years before I finally got to see Pink Floyd do the stuff, and I wasn't disappointed, to say the least. So those are two dreams that I've had, I wanted to experience. And then you start making other dreams and putting things on your bucket list. And the bucket list is an important list in anyone's. It's the hopes and aspirations you have as you go through this life to do things. One of them obviously was visiting the States, which I've done 6 times now, and I've been to San Francisco, LA, Vegas twice, Yosemite twice. The first time we went, I couldn't get my head round it. We went to Carson City, and it never dawned on me, but Carson City used to be the city in which the Bonanza were always going to. The Bonanza crew and club were always going to Carson City or Virginia City, and it never dawned on me until I actually sat and thought, hey, hang on a second, this is where Bonanza lot were there. And of course the Ponderosa area is still over by Lake Tahoe, which we've visited as well. But it doesn't matter what your dreams are, really, however big or however small. It's what you really want to do and what you do after you've fulfilled your dream. I have a pack of cards, the Fairy Healing cards, and there's a lovely card called Happy Ever After. And I explained that happy ever after isn't just a state, it's a state of mind when it is a state of mind where you just get to a point where you've achieved what you were trying to achieve, your goal. And then you go try achieve something else. For many years I've owned a top class radio, one of the best in the world. Well, obviously time moves on and better things come out. So, to be honest, I've reached the pinnacle of what I want in radio equipment. And it's not about having better radio than my friend. It's what I wanted is what I wanted to achieve. The goal of going on the radio and being a radio presenter, that never really emerged until, I never really thought about it until I got offered the chance, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. I never really dreamed I'd be any good at it. I probably aren't really that very good at it, but as a chat show host, maybe, because I can chat for England, apparently. And I can talk rubbish for England as well. So it's just that opportunity in life to do things, what dreams may come, what you think would be a great thing to do. I've done a couple of things which I'm disappointed with, they weren't as good as I thought. There were high expectations. And I've, just gone out and done stuff, been a part of stuff. I said the other day on my Facebook, Maureen McGill, one of the loveliest persons I've met, an authoress and all the rest of it, and she just was so pleasant to meet and just so nice, and she put herself out for two travellers, and it was an opportunity to meet somebody who's achieving what they wanted, who's achieved what they wanted in their life, and it's always good to do that. That's the beauty of having dreams. You can put things on paper. I've got the desire to write, but it's sticking with it at the moment. I've got all the knowledge, I've got all the paperwork put together, and it's just finishing it off. And sometimes you look at thinking it's going to be rubbish, no one's going to like it. And as any artist knows, any creator knows, you're not going to please everybody with what you've done. When I take a photograph, I please myself, and I like to show it to people in the hope that some people will like it. And I don't really have aspirations to be a top world-class photographer. I just want to show what I can see, because I like to do that, and people like to do that. People like to show what their vision is. I saw a thing about the philosophies of the Batman arch enemy, the Joker, and I was really surprised because it did make sense. He's not just bad for bad's sake. He's got a vision. He's got a vision of how the world should be. The same with Batman's got a vision of how the world should be. And it's not just about defeating the criminal, it's changing the world to suit. And we find ourselves in a position throughout the world now that we have a lot of people in power who want their vision of the world to come true. And unfortunately, it is coming true. Their vision of the world, where we're all fighting among each other and bickering and creating havoc and blaming somebody else, especially the false flags. I know there's false flags out there where they bomb something and blame somebody else. It's too easy. It's too obvious a lot of the time. But people don't see that. It's not my place at the moment to tell you what I believe is false and what I believe is real, but I'm just telling you it happens. And it's all to get somebody's vision of the world. And, excuse me a second. Just a second, Joe. And that's one of the things about dreams. We all have our aspirations for our little corner of the world and what we can achieve. Some of them massive and some of them minute. So just go for your dream. Go for what you want. As I said at the start, one of my dreams is coming true. Fingers crossed next week. And of course, I'll share it with you. Because, you know, it's personal to me and personal to my friend. And I do believe that spirit push things in the right direction when they need pushing. So there. Thank you for listening.